So like trauma. So a lot of our vets, you know, traumatic experience, the ones who actually see action. And so there may be the imbalance, you know, that we identify as PTSD or shell shock. I mean, it could be something in their mind like, you know, what's the point? You know, everybody's going to die anyways. What's the point? Or confusion, another force. Confusion can get in there and block your mind, your will, and your emotions from each other, and put up walls in between. So many things. Trauma, I believe, is a doorkeeper to every unclean spiritual force that can come in into our souls. Now, of course, the scientific community, so-called, you know, psychologists and that, you know, they talk about chemical imbalances, right? Chemical imbalances. Well, your brain produces this and that, you know, and then you got too much of this producing, not enough of that producing because of trauma. Okay, well, I believe all that is just the physical, how do you say, the physical reality, what changes physically, say within our body because of trauma, because of stress, you know. And I believe that because we, now this is my belief again, but because we are an energy force, with a soul and a body, and so when other forces, you know, very high energy, like you guys cannot see electricity, and you can't tell me that it's not an energy force. And yes, I do subscribe to the electric, the electric universe. I think they're kind of the Lightning Bolt Project, I believe. I think those guys are great. Yeah, and they have a lot of good things. Not getting off the whole subject here, but they believe that the sun, from their studies and their engineering. Now these guys got real good engineers here. Okay, but from an engineer's point of view, they see the sun as electromagnetic field. And when I first got interested in that, it was a number of years back, but it was a meteor going to go through the sun. So everybody, I decided to watch it, and I think NASA, I was watching it through somebody's telescope on the internet. I think it was NASA, but everybody's watching it. Oh, and they expect this big meteor or asteroid or whatever it was to burn up when it hit the core of the sun. And as it passed through the sun, you seen blackness, and then it comes through the other side. And what they believe is that it's an electromagnetic field. That's produced by plasma and so on and so forth, and everybody knows that you know, like if you look at the Milky Way, you know, you're looking at plasma basically, but not a burning ball of gas that will eventually burn out one day. Well, to me that doesn't even make sense. Where are they getting the oxygen to feed this burning ball of gas anyways? But anyways, that's why I got kind of interested. Yeah, I think it's the Lightning Bolt Project. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. But the whole unit, and this is what we're finding out. Like this whole universe is energy. Now they say that you know, that was it, dark matter is a very strong force. You know, you can't touch it. Like, you know, it's like, well, if I don't see it, I don't believe it. Well, science doesn't work that way. Now, there are ways to measure things that you don't see. And this is why they believe that mankind is, you know, how do you say it, susceptible to frequencies, right? And because we are fluid, which I believe is great, because, you know, that mankind is fluid, and that to believe is fluid, and that only mankind can believe. No one else can believe. Trees can't believe. Okay? Maybe a rabbit can believe. I don't know. I don't know how extinctive rabbits are. Right? But mankind can believe. I'm sure animals can believe things too. And they're also fluid. But mankind can believe, and we can also reason. And this is I believe, what divides us from the animal kingdom. And so, you know, every time I hear the word male and female, I think of men and women, or dogs and cats, or lizards, but every time I hear man and woman, I believe I also see masculine and feminine. Right? And you know, it's funny how they term that masculine toxicity, you know, as a good excuse to attack free speech. If you attack the masculine, like, always going on about privilege, you know, white privilege, and you know, that Caucaphobia, I mean, it's spreading like crazy. And, you know, what is within the free world, okay? So within the free world, or what's left of it, what the Communist Broadcasting Corporation likes to call the Western world, and so on and so forth. But within the free world, it's easy to attack a Caucasian masculine man, right? Because basically we created the free world today as we know it. Okay, that was basically, you know, our trip through the generations. We recognized the fact that God created man, and man created government to protect property of man. We recognized the fact many millennials ago that everyone has an inalienable right and the freedom to conscience. The freedom to conscience. Now, if I see something wrong, then I am consenting to it if I don't speak up. Right? Tacit agreement. All right? When I see something wrong, so what is fear? Okay, fear. I believe that fear is an energy force that resides in everyone. There are people that have been born with actually no fear, no natural fear and stuff, and it's pretty scary for their loved ones. It does happen, but I don't know which part of the soul was affected that knocked this fear out. Maybe they just don't have any emotions whatsoever, like a psychopath, right? I'm not saying that people that were born with the ability not to experience fear is a psychopath. I'm not saying that. But I don't know if psychopaths might experience fear. Yeah, maybe they do. But maybe they don't, and that's why they like it. But I believe fear is... Oh, I wrote it down here. Can't see it. Okay, well, I believe fear is... is also another force, energy force. And so fear can strike, well, can it strike the mind? Yeah. It's like, hey man, if I jump off this cliff and I didn't check the water below, if I just dive into the water willy-nilly, well, that could be just common sense. Oh yeah, okay. Well, let's see, how can fear affect the mind? Right? Okay, if I say the wrong thing, I can get fired. If I express my opinion, I can get fired. So who's promoting fear on this land right now? Who's promoting fear? Is it our public service? Is it the Crown Corporation? Is it a group or an organ or society of people kind that wishes your mind and for you to walk in fear all the time? Does a bully not wish to have you be in fear whenever they're around you? Of course they do. They love it. They feed off it. All right? The will. I don't have the will to do it. Take a young guy, becoming, one of our airborne that's going to jump out of the plane for the first time. Oh yeah, we don't have any airborne anymore. Because, what happened? Oh, somebody wear blackface in Somalia? Oh no, there's, what they did, I'm not condoning what those guys did, but yeah, it was wrong. But our airborne, for the few, the many were crucified, which is also wrong. You got a rotten barrel of apples, pour out the barrel and pick out the good ones and get rid of the rotten ones, which is what we need to do with the establishment, the public service. Well, they have all these protections from you and I, or from everyone. Or do they? What happens when Alberta actually does get a grassroots constitution? What happens when a man can enter a court building, a public court building, and stand as a man at a court of record, trial by jury, that only falls under the common law, where the magistrate is independent of the tribunal? Where's your Crown immunity there? I'm not taking the Prime Minister to court. I'm taking the man to court. Because what he did caused me harm, loss, and injury, or harm, or loss, or injury. And I asked him to stop. And he didn't stop. That is the foundation of the free world. That is part of the foundation of the free world. And that enables everyone, that empowers everyone. It's like, say I hurt your feelings, like that it thing, whatever that it thing was. And I'm pointing there because that's west. Right? So the it thing, right? What that it thing did was wrong. Now that pseudo court kangaroo thing even saw that it was wrong, and probably because because you know what, we had independent free press. Otherwise, nobody would have heard of it. And maybe those women would have got hung out to dry. If there hadn't been a free press. You can't get away with stuff in secret if you have a free press. There again, the attack on free speech. If we can attack free speech. That was just disconcerting. Like, I don't really have that much respect for Casper Milquetoast. He's never had to really work to make it in life. Play politics is what he's done. He hasn't even been that good of an actor through politics. At least Jughead. Jughead's a way better actor than Casper Milquetoast is. And then there's the bad actor, the man-child. Just, oh my God. I just, what? Yeah. I keep thinking of the word retarded. But retard. It means to go backwards. Okay? Advance. You are an advanced individual, Bob. That means I can see that you're advanced in an area of your life, or just in general. So Canada the corporate body is trying to retard this nation by claiming it's advanced, or it's advancing us, right? They say moving forward. They're moving forward with retardation of a nation, is what they're doing. almost, that could make a song, hey? Retardation of a nation. Which is why I just, the disrespect for all those buried that fought for freedom. Unfucking believable, but I'm not going to go back. Okay, let's get back to your mind, your will, and your emotions. All right, so if you can, and this is what I tell people, look into the window of your soul. Take a minute in the morning. I know we're all in a rush. Like, hey man, it's 5 a.m. I got to get the kids over here. I got to be to work. I'm going to make sure that I cut through Tim Hortons through the drive-through. It's fucking 40 below. And brush my teeth. And we're out of here, right? Take that minute just for the one that matters within the life and the life force that is standing in front of the mirror in the morning. Now just look into the window of your soul and think about what's my balance, man. Am I balanced? Why am I always a bitch? Why am I always negative about everything? Why does it make me feel good to be negative about everything? And this is why, like through the election, it was a lot of fun and stuff, and watching the guys, watching a lot of guys, independent news guys, which I still watch, but and guys like I say, the Raging Humanist, man, thumbs up, buddy. He's funnier than heck. And when I watch him, I look into his eyes. Critical Thinker is another pretty good one. Ellie's place there. She's down, I believe, around London, Ontario. And let's see, who else do I like? There's a few folks I do. What's his face? Adam. Adam the actor. It's some pretty good commentary, but here's the thing, and the Waxit guys, of course, and Rebel News, of course, I wear the hat, right? But but here's the thing, okay, so everybody is talking, and it's really good that the information's getting out. Like, I read Ho Canada way back, I forget the guy's name, he's really old now, the Frenchman, Frenchman. But when he went to the library to find that book, Whole Canada, and found it, and then the RCMP went in to take it off the shelves. He got his copy, and so I made sure I got a PDF of the book myself. And of course the PDF from him, and it's hard to find, but if you look for it on Google, Whole Canada, if you look for it on Google, you'll find it. Well, right now you still can, I believe. You never know with these characters, but if he has his commentaries in there, which is fine. I tried to get my left wing, very left progressive buddy to read it. And he started to read it, and said, Chief so and so. Well, yeah, he was an honorary. He was given an honorary title by his native cousins. And my progressive buddies go, oh, there's a white man, Chief so-and-so. Well, no, that was an honorary title. Jordan Peterson was given an honorary title. So my progressive buddy, Mr. Human Rights, right, is insulting a nation of folks because he doesn't agree with the title that they entitled this man with, or entitled Jordan Peterson with. Well, who the do you think you are, you little shit? And he's a friend of mine too. I think he's my only progressive buddy, but man, is he hard to take sometimes. Like, no common sense. Everything is rhetoric. Everything is rhetoric, man, with that guy. You can't have a common sense conversation with him because he just goes into rhetoric and the narrative goes woo, woo, woo. Like, it's just crazy. It's just nuts. It's like, whatever. I mean, I appreciate the guy for who he is. I mean, he is my friend. I do befriend him. I've had to stick up for him a couple of times when people just wanted to kill him and bury him in the front yard. But that's another story. Yeah, so, so are you balanced, man or woman? Are you imbalanced? When we take the time to actually write a letter, to sit down with pen, paper, and ink, right? You will be able to reflect on what manner of man or woman you are by looking at rereading your own handwriting. You know. Now, I personally, when I write to any public servant or even a corporation, like in its traditional, form, corporation, right? I write to the man or woman who acts as the CFO, CEO, whatever, because that corporation has a mandate, okay? And nowhere in any corporation's mandate on this land are they allowed to cause harm, loss, and injury. And a corporation itself cannot cause harm, loss, and injury because if you look at their policy, the corporation has nothing in there, within their policy, their mandate to do such. So that means, like you're saying, like I hear this all the time, like we got this corporation Fortis. Well, Fortis did this and Fortis did that. CBC did this and CBC did that. Well, no, CBC didn't do shit. CBC doesn't even exist, guys. It's only on a piece of paper. But there's a man or a woman who acts as part of that corporate body that did something to somebody. Oh, something to somebody? It sounds like 9/11. Somebody did something to somebody. The audacity of these people, man. The audacity. But because it's okay, because caucaphobia is such a like just out of control. Like it's because it's hit the free world. It's like the storm, and this phobia just swept the free world. Now some folks have immunity to caucaphobia, right? And I'm not saying no, it's because you're a Caucasian male. That's why you have immunity. No, that's not true. Common sense actually kills off caucaphobia, homophobia, lesbophobia, transphobia. Common sense in itself. Well, how do you have common sense? Because you identify as part of mankind. It's common sense. And that is the doing a bunch of drugs, clinical drugs and stuff, is not going to help any of the phobias. Being bullied is not going to help a phobia. I mean, you can bully somebody who hates vehemently to a point where they're only, fear keeps them, controls their will, so that they don't speak their mind. They may be emotionally about to erupt. So fear is a force. It's like the sun is a force, and this is why it gives off electromagnetic field, and this is why it destroys when it gives off the when you get the what we call it, sunbursts or whatever. It can destroy electronics, and has destroyed electronics, and it hasn't for a while. I think, was it in the 70s, late 70s, early 80s? Last time screwed up a bunch of CB radios and stuff. So, so anyways, so the fear. Okay, so the bullies wish you to fear. Bully, these bully persons, right, wish to indoctrinate everyone with fear, right? And it's just, it all comes from hate. And envy is a huge part of hate. Was caucaphobia, was that phobia built from hatred? And envy? And I don't see why, because if we are all of mankind, that'd be me hating my, my buddies, my African descendant friends, which I have. because, hey, well, you know, because I envy him, so now I hate him because of this, right? No. Do the best you can with what you have, and if somebody doesn't like it, well, too fucking bad for them. That's my free thought, free expression of a man who stands within the free world. Right? So yeah, so you have a soul, right? A spirit and a body. That's the basic makeup of man. And then your soul is made up of mind, your will, and your emotions. And so it's up to us to use our spiritual energy, our force, to be able to get our mind, our will, and our emotions in check. I mean, one of the greatest things about, like if you take anybody who's ever been successful in sports, you take anybody like a real learned scholar, all right, a real one, not one of these goofballs that get one of these fucking globalist award bullshit things because he made a cartoon movie about, lying about CO2. Whatever. I mean, that's how retarded we have gone backwards. Okay, we are bullying people. We are we are allowing people to be bullied because of our tacit agreement of not standing up for others, those that can't protect themselves, those of your fellow man, and so they're being stepped on through fear. And so, like, anybody wishes to say the world, the earth is round and doesn't keep the status quo of flat, well, then you will be dealt with, and we're going to institute so much fear in that. How dare you say that the earth is round, right? And that's what happens when you can't express that inalienable right that everyone has to voice their opinion, to express their opinion. I hate the term free speech because, okay, nothing is free. There are no free rides. It's gas, grass, or ass, baby. Nobody rides for free. That's the old saying from my culture. But nothing is free. We just had Veterans Day. There's so going on about you people of people kind. You people of people kind. People kind is so offended about you people of people kind that it took the whole narrative, all the news about Don, right? Because he's trying to get people, maybe he's trying to bring the emotion of shame. Shame on you. That you can't throw a couple of bucks for a poppy? These guys aren't here. They got nothing. They gave up the only body that they'll ever have. Well, to most of us, there are people that believe in reincarnation. That's all cool too. But they gave up that body so that you could express yourself freely. Now that makes you people traitors to everyone that is buried thousands of miles from home to make sure that you people could express yourself freely. Shame. 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 So the whole narrative goes off our fallen loved ones, our forebears, and as they fought, so that these progressive retards can spew their hate. And yes, you have that right, but I also have the right to express myself to you people of people kind. Oh yeah, we'll put the fear into you. Oh yeah, we'll shut you down. We have a bunch of ballless wonders.